Some goodies came in the mail. Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 4 of the Cub 1600 build series. In today's episode, we are going to finally be getting some fresh rubber on this thing. And I am super excited. This is always a really fun part of any project. Getting new tires for something and it always just changes the complete look of the tractor. Makes it look so much more aggressive. Again, you'll have to bear with me because I'm still fighting off whatever funk I've got. So, still not feeling 100%, but feeling a lot better. Today we are going to get this thing looking right with all new rubber. That's going to involve a little bit of horse trading as far as wheels and tires go. So since I need another set of 6-inch wide wheels, I have a pair on the back of my 149 right there that I just have as placeholders because I had to rob the 10.5 wides off of this for my 86 a while back. There's a little bit of a mess here tire wise. I've got myself in a heck of a snafu, but the fact is I just need to take those wheels off and put some placeholders on this just for the time being. The plan long term is to get the 10.5 wide Carlisle True Powers back on this thing and then it'll be fine. And then the 86, as you can see, it's got the True Powers on it right now that are supposed to be on the 149. And the front wheels and tires that are on it, those X tracks, are actually the wheels off my 1450. I put the V61s on it for the plow day. Those are going to come back off of it. I have the V61s back over here to put on it. I'm going to put those X tracks back on the 1450 for the time being. But I'm also considering taking those X tracks off of those wheels and putting V61s on. But I've also got a pair of brand new Firestone 850s for the rear of this thing that will get mounted eventually, but I'm not going to mess with that today. I'm not going to take a whole truck bed full of tires up there. I just want to take the wheels and tires for the 1600 plow tractor and get those taken care of today. That way we can keep moving on the project. With that said, I'm going to pull the floor jack over here. I'm going to zip the wheels off of that 149 and throw some placeholders on it, and then we are going to head off to the tire shop. There went 7 deer. All right, let's head to the tire shop.
Several days later.
Oh yeah. Let's get these things mounted. Alright, I got them all unloaded, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the fronts on real quick because that takes like 2 seconds. We're going to move on to the really cool part and we're going to get these duals mounted up. And I do have a set of wheel weights right there that we are going to be putting on the inside duals before we put the outside tires on. I'm not going to talk over this part. I'm going to fire up the cancer cannon. You're going to have to hear it running in the background, but I'm sorry because it is super cold out here. I mean, it is like 21 degrees out here. I'm going to have to run the salamander. Just enjoy watching me mount these things because it's going to be awesome. Now, come on, folks. You cannot tell me that that doesn't look badass. I mean, look at that thing. That's just greasy.
Greasy.
Right there. That is greasy. Look at those tires.
Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Would you look at this? Oh, look at that.
Oh my gosh. The way this thing's sitting. Oh man, I cannot wait to turn some dirt with this thing. I mean, this just looks insane. I mean, the rear tires have a little more air in them than I'm going to run just because the tire shop puts a lot more in to make sure the beads seat and stay seated. So when we start working with this thing, I'm going to air these down pretty significantly. So it will get a little bit shorter in the back, but not much. And man, those 7-inch spacers are money. Perfect. As you saw, I got that set of wheel weights hidden in there. You can't even see them. These are the Extreme Motorworks 7-inch spacers for 612 wheels. And as you can see, they're awesome. I mean, I ran these on my 100 for the better part of 5 years, 6 years now. So I just swapped them out for a little more stock appearing set because I am going for a little more of a correct style build on that, where this is supposed to be just a lot cooler. And man, I'm gonna have to shut the camera off and stare at this thing for a solid half hour because that is just awesome. I mean, that right there just makes a build. Good tires, a wicked setup like this. I mean, it makes it. And I got lucky, and for the second time in my life, I have had a set of duals randomly mounted at a tire shop, at my local tire shop, and the freaking lugs, this side's just a hair off, but the freaking lugs match up. I mean, come on. It does not get better than that. That is so cool. Sorry, I can't contain my excitement, but man, this thing just looks freaking awesome. I can't believe I've waited so long to put a set of tall duals on something like this. So that makes me that much more excited to get this thing finished up and get it back together and turn some dirt with it. I mean, it's the completely wrong season for it right now, but yeah, this is just awesome. So if you're still watching this and you stayed to see those wheels, you've got to leave a like for that setup. I mean, that is freaking awesome. Real quick, I'll go over what tires I went with on this and why I did that. The fronts, pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I run this on pretty much everything. That is I believe it's pronounced Vredstein, V-R-E-D, Steen, whatever, I don't know. It's a German company. These are little hay tedder tires, but these are a 16-658, stock size, nothing crazy. Didn't want to go outrageous on the front, and I just love these V61s. They steer nice, they work nice, they look good. I don't like a tri-rib. Honestly, I just don't think they look right, so had to go with V61s on the front. And then these rears are Super Guider, which I'd never heard of, but I don't care because look at the freaking things. And they are an R1 tread, obviously, and they are a 6.0012, and 4 of them was right around $300 shipped to my door, so you can't beat that. That's the tire setup we're going with on this thing. I am absolutely stoked. I know this video was a little bit shorter, and I really just wanted to make one video by itself just on the wheel and tire setup I was doing on this thing, just because that was mounting new wheels on the stud conversion that we did, as well as mounting wheel weights and our dual adapters. I know I didn't really talk over it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You put your inside wheel on, then your dual adapter, then your nuts to hold all that on. Then it's easier to put your wheel weight on your inside dual, and then you put your outside dual on, and you put the nuts on, and you tighten it up, and then you just do the same thing on the other side, and bam, you have an absolute monster. And I just know the video is not doing this thing justice, you guys. This thing is freaking awesome, and it is beefy. Really hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys enjoy seeing this progress on this tractor. It might seem a little ridiculous to put this nice of a tire setup on something that looks this scabby and terrible, but you guys know just as well as I do that this thing is going to be pretty mechanically sound. It's going to be kind of I don't want to call it a sleeper because I'm not racing with it, but it's going to be kind of a sleeper plow tractor. I mean, it's going to have a really stout engine, stout clutch, badass tire setup, full hitch setup, and it's going to be awesome. So hopefully this makes you guys excited for the next steps coming in this build. In the coming weeks, I plan on releasing a video doing a full clutch rebuild, which this clutch doesn't need rebuilt, but I am just going to tear it apart, clean everything up, and inspect it and make sure everything's in good shape. I do think it needs a teaser spring, which is pretty normal. So we're just going to tear it apart, check everything out, clean it up, paint it, put it back together. That way we know for 100% certain that everything's good before we take this thing out and we start turning dirt with it. I know the rear end's in good shape, and obviously the engine runs fantastic. So other than that, it all comes down to cosmetic cosmetic work, just putting the lights on this thing and putting the tins back on it, which that's going to be awesome. When we get the tins back on this thing, it is just, oh my God, I can't wait. You know, eventually, I have thought about one day, no time soon though, I would like to do a custom paint job on this thing. I've always wanted to take a Quiet Line era tractor and convert it into one of two things, either a mini like 1466, which is my favorite IH tractor ever made, either a mini 1466 or do a Spirit of 76 build, which I'd actually have to look at the serial number on this, but I've always wanted to do a Spirit of 76 build, but they never made a Spirit of 76 garden tractor. Some friends of mine made a custom one that's awesome, but they made it out of a 149 because it matches the Ertl toy that came out in 76. 1976, they had Quiet Lines, so it's a little weird. That area is a little gray area. It's still going to be custom, and who cares? I mean, it's going to look cool. So I've got some ideas. I want to maybe do a big tractor build, or, you know, I mean, we're already there. Hell, we got the wheels for it. So that would entail doing like a black frame, red hood and dash and tins, and then paint the wheels like a big tractor where the barrels would be silver and the insides would be black. Things like that really wouldn't be all that hard to do. It's just time consuming, obviously. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think I should eventually paint this thing as. But for now, it's going to stay like it is. Just be a mechanical wonder. As you see here, just an absolute piece of beauty, and it is just going to turn dirt for the time being, and then eventually when we get bored with it, we'll blow it apart and we'll paint it. That being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little shorter, like I said. I really wanted to do one by itself to focus on the wheels and tires because that was just awesome, and this is like hands down one of the most exciting parts of any build I do. Really hope you guys think these wheels and tires are as cool as I do, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the build series so far. So stay tuned for the next episode. I believe it'll be episode 5, and we're going to go over how to disassemble, rebuild, and reassemble a wide frame clutch. I will see you guys later.